My wonderful viewers, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location or anytime you are meeting this video. If it is your first time and you like what I do here, after watching this video, I want you to subscribe, put on your notification bell, set it to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. In this platform, we'll talk about life in Germany. We'll give information to those who want to know more about Germany, either to come here to work, to study, or to do business. We also talk about motherhood. So yesterday and day before yesterday, I made a video about German immigrants, those who have been in Germany for the 5 years. So I said the German new chancellor have provided opportunity for those who have stayed in Germany up to 5 years that they will not be deported only if they have not committed any crime in Germany. This is strictly for people who have stayed up to 5 years in Germany. And yesterday I made a video, somebody said I should give them the criteria or the requirement that will permit you to obtain this thing. First of all, you have to integrate. Living 5 years without speaking German or without obtaining anything doing will hinder your opportunity of obtaining this permanent resident permit. So you must have been integrated. What I mean that is that you must learn German. You must know how to speak German up to B1, rather in English B1. You must obtain it because when they want to give you this document, they will ask you some questions. They will ask you to provide your B1 German certificate. Thank you for the person who reminded me of this. So, if you have held a resident title in Germany for at least 5 years without interruption, you may be eligible for an open-ended resident permit subject to certain conditions. Now, the EU long-term resident permit is an open-ended resident title enabling you to also settle in another state of the EU, assuming that you comply with the rules that apply there. You will receive a German EU long-term resident permit if you have held a resident title for at least 5 years. You can ensure you and your family's members' livelihood through a regular source of income. You have adequate knowledge of German and are integrated in Germany. Did you see what I just said now? You must have something doing. You must be working. Oh, it's not only staying for 5 years idle and you will go and apply. No, you must be working. You must be integrated. You must be showing something. When you get there, you have been in a country for 5 years. You must show them what you have contributed in the development of the country, and you must show them your level of German. So the settlement permits enable you to take up open-ended residence in Germany. This title does not, however, entitle you to stay in another EU member state for more than 90 days. In order to receive this title, you must have held a resident title for at least 5 years, have paid statutory pension insurance contributions for at least 6 months, have a secure livelihood, and be well integrated in the case of married couple. In the case of married couple, it is sufficient if one partner has paid the pension insurance contribution and is entitled to pursue gainful employment. Now, let me explain before I continue. So, what it means is this: in Germany, when you are working, if you are working, you will have what they call insurance. And that insurance, you will be paying in some monies. And the essence of this is the money that you will use when you are old, when you retired. And this is one thing they run away from, because if you are applying for this resident permit, they find out that you are not working, they find out that you don't have health insurance that covers you, they find out that you don't have pension to take care of you when you are old. All these things will be a hindrances to you. So if you have stayed up to 5 years and you are not working, please, before you try to apply for this, make sure that you are working. In terms of married people, If your husband is working, then your husband's work will cover yours until you'll be able to find your own. But if both of you are not working, I'm sorry to disappoint you, you cannot get this. The settlement permit for persons entitled to asylum, person entitled to subsidiary protection, and resettled refugee. If you are entitled to asylum or a refugee, you will receive a settlement permit if you have had your resident permit for 5 years. Did you hear this? This is where this thing come from. I want you people to pay attention clearly. So if you have been an asylum and you are in that your asylum book, they have given you a permit to stay and you have stayed in Germany up to 5 years. You have had your resident permit for 5 years, including the period covered by the preceding asylum process. That means you must have stayed here up to 5 years. The BAM does not give notice that any condition apply which might warrant revocation or withdrawal of the permit. Your livelihood largely ensured. You are sufficiently proficient in German. You have adequate accommodation for you and all of the family members who live with you. You have all the permits required to enable you to practice your occupation in the long term. This requirement may also be met by your spouse. Insurance is not precluded by any ground concerned with public safety or other. We will receive your settlement permit after only 3 years if you also have a command of German and are very largely able to earn your own livelihood. So in this condition now, this is another condition for people who stayed in Germany up to 3 years. So according to what I read here, they said that if you are fluent in German, that is speaking German or Dutch language, that they can have pardon you, and also if they see that you can support yourself, in as much as they take refugees, in as much as German like taking immigrants or refugees, they also like or want people who are industrious, people who will be working to contribute to the development of the country. They don't like it when you are not working. They don't like people who are not working. Would I say, I don't want to use this word, lazy. So if you have been in Germany for the past 5 years or 3 years, like you heard me read, now these are the things, the requirements you need for you to apply for resident permit, although they have promised that they will give you, but these things I mentioned below are the things that you will satisfy to enable them to grant you resident permit. One, you must integrate. How do you integrate? You learn German. Secondly, you must be working. You must make sure that you can, take care of yourself. You must have insurance. You must have accommodations. You must have a job, something that shows that you can take care of yourself. If you are husband and wife, you must make sure that the amount of money you are earning will be able to satisfy or be enough for you, depending on the numbers of children you have. So feel free if you have any question. Thank you so much for the person who reminded me to make this video. May God bless you all. Please subscribe, share, leave your comment or any question until I meet you again.